A little girl in Ireland knelt by her bed one night and asked God for blue eyes. She had read that He answers prayer, and she believed it with all her heart, so she prayed hard, climbed under the covers, and fell asleep, certain that morning would bring change. When the sun came up, she ran to the mirror, brown, still brown, the same as the night before. She was 3 years old, and she decided right there and then that God had said no. Welcome to Lift Up Your Day, a daily 5-minute devotional, short stories with a biblical heartbeat. I'm Rodney Coe, and today a little girl's disappointment turns into one of the most beautiful answered prayers you will ever hear. Her name was Amy Carmichael, born in 1867 in a small seaside village in Northern Ireland, the oldest of 7. She gave her heart to Christ as a girl and felt a steady pull toward the people most folks would walk right past. As a young woman, she gathered the mill girls of Belfast, what they called the poor shawlies. Nobody wanted them in a pew, and taught them the love of Jesus Christ. Then came the call to the mission field. After a short season in Japan, she landed in northern India in 1901 in a place called Dohnavur. She stayed 55 years and never once came home. In India, she uncovered a hidden grief. Little girls that some barely babies were being handed over to Hindu temples and sold into a life no child should ever know. One day, a 7-year-old named Prina slipped away from a temple and ran straight into Amy's arms. She was the first. Then came another and another, until Amy was raising hundreds of rescued children. They called her Amma. In Tamil, it means mother. But reaching those children meant going where a fair-skinned English woman could never be seen. So Amy darkened her skin with coffee, wrapped herself in an Indian sari, and slipped through temple gates in the dark. And her eyes, those plain brown eyes that never turn blue, let her pass without a second glance. Blue eyes would have given her away in a heartbeat, and the child would have been lost. That's when she understood. The morning she was 3 and ran to the mirror, God had not said no. He had said wait. He was handing her the very eyes she would need. In 1931, Amy took a bad fall and spent her last 20 years mostly confined to a bed, often in real pain. Yet from that bed she wrote book after book, words that still steady believers today. When she died in 1951, she asked that no stone be placed over her grave. So the children set a simple bird bath there and said, with one word on it, Amma. Maybe you prayed for blue eyes and woken up to brown. You asked for a yes and you heard a no. Before you decide God turned you away, I want you to remember what He says in Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. My thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. A 3-year-old could not see why brown eyes mattered. You cannot always see why your answer came the way it did either. But the God who shaped Amy's eyes for a rescue she could not understand for 40 years is shaping your life with that same careful love. The closed door you're grieving today might be the very thing He uses to open a life tomorrow. And that, friend, is how God lifts up your day.